Next book I'm looking at is Red Sonja #2, written by Mark Russell, one of my favorite comic writers, and art by Mirko Colak. Issue 1 was my pick of the week, and this one was in contention for pick of the week. So yeah, I really dug this. So this one is, we're following Red Sonja, and she's having this confrontation with this Dragan the Magnificent, who's coming to attack her. And there are some really funny moments in this comic. We have some of Dragan and his son and his wife that's pretty disinterested in him. Some funny moments with them. Red Sonja, she wants to find out how much gold is in the treasury of this poor town that she is the queen of. And they bring the treasury to her, and they present her with this gold key. And she's like, oh, the key, so let's go to the treasury. And they're like, oh no, that is the treasury, just that gold key. And they're like, the treasury is actually empty. We would have melted down the key and used that gold, but it's actually the key to the treasury as well. So we can't really melt it down because we need it to open the treasury, even though it's empty. Kind of funny. Also, another funny moment is that they're telling Red Sonja that she has to take this guy named the Tongue of Fire, that's like his position name, into her cabinet. And the reason why she needs to take this guy is that he won a contest for being the most honest. And we see this flashback, and he's talking, and the guy's like, of course I stole from the temple. How else would I have paid for my coconut dust habit? And they're like, all right, he wins. He's definitely the most honest. So it was funny, but it was also kind of an intriguing concept that Red Sonja has to take this guy into her cabinet, which she thinks is like dumb and has some weird coconut dust habit, but because he's honest, he will tell her the truth. And that is something more important to have, someone who's truthful to you, even if you hate them. So I thought that was interesting and fun. So Red Sonja has this confrontation with this guy, Dragan the Magnificent, and they're going to battle now. But there's a sea between them. There's like a lake, and they would have to, one of the sides would have to cross to fight the other. And none of them want to do it because they'll be at a disadvantage. If they start crossing the sea, the other people on the other side might attack them when they're in the sea and ruin their ships, and they'll drown. So Dragan decides that he's going to parlay with Red Sonja, and he comes over in a small boat. He's talking to Red Sonja, and he's like, you should just give up. And Red Sonja is like, no, I'm not going to give up. And then Red Sonja sort of comes to this agreement that, look, if we're going to fight each other, we can keep it honest, and we can move like 5 kilometers back or something. You guys can cross the sea, land on our side of this land, and then we can battle fairly. Or we can come to your side of the sea and battle fairly there. So Dragan takes this back to his people on his side of the sea. They discuss, and he sort of gets talked into crossing the lake. So Red Sonja, she backs up, and Dragan the Magnificent and his people and his huge army start crossing this lake. But Red Sonja had a secret plan the entire time. She sends her people, a small group of her people, around the lake to sneak up behind Dragan's people. And when like half of his military are moved into the sea, Red Sonja's people, who are good at thieving, they sneak up behind Dragan and they steal a whole bunch of Dragan's stuff, and they get away with it. And yeah, and it was a pretty interesting twist, pretty interesting plan from Red Sonja. Really fun book. Yeah, so I really dug this issue. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really interesting. I liked the confrontation between Red Sonja and Dragan and that whole battle. So yeah, this is really fun. I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Red Sonja #3, written by Mark Russell, art by Mirko Colak. This series has been really fun. I love Mark Russell, and Red Sonja is definitely worth your time. Pick it up. This is one of the best books out right now. So in this issue, we're having Red Sonja, and she's starting this war with this Dragan the Magnificent guy, and Dragan's coming to attack her. Last issue, Red Sonja stole a whole bunch of Dragan's goods. And this issue, we're picking up there, and this Dragan the Magnificent, he has to wait to get resupplied. And it's all very embarrassing that Red Sonja managed to steal a whole bunch of his supplies. So, he's waiting for this resupply, and it might take up to 2 weeks, which is a long time in this war. Meanwhile, Red Sonja is still leading her people. And they're sort of playing defense, and they're waiting while Dragan is forced to stall right now. But they are enjoying all the goods that they managed to steal from Dragan. And eventually, some mercenaries for hire, they offer their services to assist Red Sonja in her war with Dragan. But Red Sonja recognizes that these soldiers, they just sort of desire money. They are not really loyal to her. And she knows from a flashback we have in this story that men can easily, their loyalty can easily be bought with money, but sometimes it is those truly loyal people that are really going to help you win the day. So Red Sonja refuses them. These mercenaries, they go to Dragan the Magnificent and they make a deal. And then the mercenaries come back and they attack Red Sonja and her people. And we got some interesting fight scenes here. But Red Sonja has a group of female soldiers who are loyal to her. And they're kind of older. And I guess they can no longer give birth. So they have this name called the Barons because they are barren. They can't have kids. And when these mercenaries attack this party, these barons, they sort of surprise attack and ambush these mercenaries, and they save the day, and it's a sort of a really cool fight scene. And that's how this issue ends, and we're sort of waiting now for next issue for Dragan to sort of make his move and see how that all plays out. This book is just so fun, seeing these two sides and this whole war develop. Like, this is great. And I like seeing like Red Sonja a lot of the time sort of outsmarting these people that have more power than her, but she's able to come out on top using her wits. Fantastic stuff. This is great. I'm going to give this one an 8.5 out of 10.